where we're going to talk on the topic of lighting design and human behaviour. So more specifically, understanding the behavioural responses of light, or how people respond to light, and how we can actually use that information and that knowledge to design our spaces to provide not only functional lighting for visibility, but also to help create mood and ambience within the spaces that we're designing. So we know that lighting plays a great role in how people perceive a space, whether it be the security of a space or their aesthetic interpretation of a space, and also how they react to outdoor spaces. So what we're going to do is look at some of the physiological and psychological aspects of lighting and how that might relate to people's health and well-being, and how we can use that information to design our outdoor lighting solutions for both landscape and hardscape environments. So this is the structure of the presentation. So we're going to talk about probably two key aspects here. So one is the visual pathways of light, and we'll touch on that briefly at the start to understand how our eyes interpret the environment around us, and specifically aspects of that relate to nighttime or outdoor lighting environments. But then importantly, we're going to talk about non-visual pathways. So these are the pathways within the brain that are stimulated by light that affect mood and behaviour. And then we'll look at a case study example at the end of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington there, to sort of demonstrate how some of these principles, both the visual aspects of lighting as well as the non-visual aspects of lighting, can influence people's behaviour, and look at that in the case of a specific design. So before we start, I guess it's worthwhile considering, what are we actually trying to achieve with our lighting, and specifically for outdoor lighting. So when we look at outdoor lighting, we're trying to achieve multiple things within the one design. So obviously one of the key things we use lighting for is to improve our visibility, so make the space provide enough lighting for people to carry out the functions that they want to do in that space, whether it's recreation or work or sport. The lighting's there to achieve that. But there are also some non-visual aspects to lighting. So particularly for outdoor lighting, one of the key things that we need to consider often is safety and security. So how people perceive that space, and is it a safe space for them to be in? And there's some psychological influences of lighting that determine how people respond to those environments. We can use lighting to choreograph someone's experience, so using wayfinding or help them to orientate where they are within the space, or where obvious entrances are, or how you want to direct them within the space. We obviously want to make it interesting. And then there's practical aspects like code compliance, minimising light pollution, which will become very important. And I'll talk about some of the physiology of lighting and energy usage.